Result of being around that man, Sean Puffy Combs, I don't sleep to this day. I have a problem sleeping to this day. Like, yo, man, I'm here to work, man. I ain't sang in a week. I mean, I'm 13 years old, and I'm telling him, look, you're gonna put me in the studio, man. You got Biggie Smalls in there, you got Craig Mack in there. I'm not here to party with you. I don't want to go to the clubs. Matter of fact, I'm too young to even be in here. Why you got me in clubs? We would fight, we would tussle.
Music mogul Sean Diddy Combs is reportedly in panic mode as rumors swirl that star Usher Raymond may be preparing to testify against him in the upcoming May trial. With just weeks to go, Diddy's legal team is scrambling, filing urgent motions to suppress evidence seized during dramatic raids on his lavish homes. But the real question on everyone's mind, what does Usher know that has Diddy so rattled? As the countdown to the trial continues, the case has taken a dramatic turn. Sources suggest that Usher could be a key witness, possibly offering testimony related to his early experiences under Diddy's mentorship, experiences that may shine a new light on the inner workings of the entertainment empire. The pressure is mounting, and Diddy's defense is pulling out all the stops, arguing that federal agents relied on exaggerated claims and unconstitutional searches. Among the seized items, electronic devices, cloud data, and other digital records that could be critical to the prosecution's case. One of the most controversial chapters in their shared history dates back to the so-called Flavor Camp, a program Diddy created in the 90s for young, aspiring artists. Usher, then just 13 years old, was sent there by his mother in hopes of gaining industry mentorship. But years later, in interviews, Usher described the experience as troubling. He spoke of being exposed to adult nightlife, surrounded by older artists and situations no young teen should be involved in. I didn't understand half of what was going on back then, Usher once shared in a candid interview. I was just a kid trying to make music. According to those close to him, the experience left a lasting impact, one he still struggles to fully process. While it's unclear what exactly Usher might say if called to the stand, insiders speculate his testimony could directly challenge Diddy's claims of innocence. His statements may also highlight a broader culture of unchecked power and questionable mentorship in the music industry. And the drama doesn't stop there. Diddy is currently facing serious charges, including conspiracy and alleged misconduct. His legal team is fighting hard to discredit the evidence, claiming law enforcement relied on unverified statements from unnamed music insiders. One particularly explosive rumor points to a well-known producer being involved, though no names have been confirmed. Meanwhile, speculation continues to swirl about the extent of Diddy's influence on Usher's personal and professional life. Some sources have suggested that Usher was not only shaped by Diddy's mentorship, but also drawn into a lifestyle that may have contributed to his own controversies years later. One such controversy came to light in 2018 when Usher settled a lawsuit involving allegations of knowingly exposing partners to a health condition. While Usher has never publicly linked that incident to his early years with Diddy, the timeline and connections have fueled intense online discussion. As the trial date approaches, the stakes couldn't be higher. Will Usher break his silence in court? Could his testimony reshape public opinion and the outcome of the case? One thing is certain, this story is far from over, and the music world is bracing for impact.
Usher look like he fresh off a goddamn plane. Usher
Fresh off the garden stage. That's my brother right here from day one. We used to wake up and, pause, but like that's how. Back in the days when he was like 10 and I was a little bit older, his older brother, we used to fight over the frosted flakes. You know what I'm saying? Before pause was invented. You know what I'm saying? But it's my brother for real. We used to actually wrestle off of the frosted flakes because he used to always get up early.
The lawsuit and the past that haunts Usher. Usher's past resurfaced in the public eye when reports emerged regarding a 2018 lawsuit in which he was accused of knowingly exposing multiple partners to a health condition. One of the cases resulted in a $1.1 million judgment, and court documents allegedly referenced medical records from 2009 to 2010. These claims sparked renewed debate over how much of Usher's behavior may have been influenced by his early exposure to the entertainment world, particularly his time under Diddy's mentorship. Adding fuel to the fire, rumors began circulating about a leaked video allegedly showing Usher at one of Diddy's infamous parties. In the supposed footage, Usher is described as appearing visibly uncomfortable while surrounded by questionable scenes involving adult substances and individuals. Diddy, on the other hand, is said to be seen embracing the chaotic atmosphere, If such footage is confirmed and used in court, it could become a major turning point, especially if Usher decides to testify about what really happened during those early years of his career. With the trial approaching rapidly, speculation continues to build. Legal insiders suggest that Usher's potential testimony could serve as a powerful piece of evidence. It may not only shed light on his own experiences, but also connect broader patterns of alleged misconduct spanning decades. For now, Diddy's legal team is aggressively working to block key materials from being used in court, but the final decision remains with the judge. One thing is clear: the spotlight is no longer just on one man. This could be the beginning of a larger reckoning within the music industry itself. Justin Bieber and the industry's dark whispers. Meanwhile, attention is turned to Justin Bieber in the early stages of his rise to stardom. Online discussions have reignited long-standing rumors about the nature of his introduction to the industry and the role Usher and Diddy may have played. According to claims from entertainment insiders, Usher took on legal guardianship of Bieber for a brief period, during which he reportedly allowed Diddy to supervise the young star for 48 hours, a detail that many find troubling in retrospect. During that time, it's been alleged that Bieber was introduced to the same excessive and chaotic lifestyle that had surrounded Usher in the past. Though details remain unconfirmed, the timeline and connections have raised serious questions about the type of mentorship young artists were receiving behind closed doors. A shocking industry culture. Old interview clips now seen in a new light show a teenage Bieber in awkward situations around powerful industry figures. While once brushed off as harmless celebrity moments, they now raise uncomfortable questions about what was happening behind the scenes. Adding to the concern, some claim Usher later made inappropriate jokes about Bieber in public interviews, remarks that have only resurfaced amid the current controversy. Stay tuned, because if these stories continue to unravel, we may be looking at one of the most disturbing reckonings Hollywood has ever faced.
I moved to New York City, and I lived with Sean Puffy Combs for a year.
That's the crazy thing. Now, that was L.A. Reid's idea, right? We're sending you
New
over
York
to
City.
something called Puffy Flavor Camp.
There you go.
To learn
Flavor Camp.
Yeah,
Flavor
that's what it
Camp.
was called. And you're going to go to Puff Daddy's. He's going
In the 90s, do you understand what that's like?
Puffy's place was like just filled with chicks and orgying like nonstop, right?
No, not really. I
Come
mean,
on.
but hey, it was curious. I got a chance to see some things.
Yeah, but you were 13. What were you
I
seeing?
went there to see the lifestyle,
Right.
And I saw it, and it was, but I don't know if I could indulge and understand what I was even looking at. It was pretty wild. It was,
So nobody
it was crazy.
tried to, some woman didn't come along.
I didn't
and
say that.
Okay.
I didn't
But
say
you
that. What I did say is that there were very curious things taking place, and I didn't necessarily understand it.
Biggie Smalls was there.
Biggie Smalls was there, Lil' Kim, Craig Mack.
All these people
all
are
of
hanging
these-
around.
Yeah, man. Faith Evans,
And your parents
Jodeci,
were
Mary J.
okay?
Blige. They didn't know nothing about this shit.
Oh.
I was having a good time. You know what I mean?
Does he have you doing any chores? Are you doing dishes at all? I mean, to keep you humble somewhat? Or are you just like, can you stay up till 4 a.m. with them and party?
I mean, I could. I
Yeah.
actually stayed up longer than them.
And what kind, do you have money? What's going on?
I mean, I had like per diem.
Yeah.
I had like,
What
like
a
a living.
life.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
14 years old. You're a dad now. Would you ever send your kid to Puffy Camp?
Hell no.
Hollywood's hidden web of control, Bieber, Usher, and the Diddy connection. A chilling pattern is emerging in the world of celebrity mentorship, one that raises unsettling questions about influence, manipulation, and silent suffering. At the heart of it, Justin Bieber, once pop's golden child, now an adult reflecting the scars of childhood spent under the spotlight, and perhaps under the control of some of the industry's most powerful figures. Sources claim that when asked under oath if he knew Raymond Usher IV, Bieber's cold response was, "No, that single word," from someone once presented as Usher's protégé, tells a much deeper story. It raises the question, was this really mentorship, or something far more calculated? Behind the polished image of mentorship often lies a darker reality, a pattern of control and exploitation. Hollywood insiders have long whispered about young artists being managed not for their growth, but for control. Bieber's trajectory, fame, collapse, and struggle is increasingly viewed through that lens. Public breakdowns, substance abuse, emotional spirals. Many chalked it up to the pressures of youth and fame. But what if it was the environment, not just the spotlight, that caused the unraveling? Usher's legacy, breaking the cycle or repeating it. Usher has previously opened up about being exposed to adult environments and inappropriate behavior while under Diddy's mentorship at a young age. Now, With Bieber's trajectory mirroring Usher's, some are wondering, did Usher break the cycle or unknowingly perpetuate it? Usher once trusted Diddy with his development. Later, he became a guardian figure for Bieber, even handing him over to Diddy for a 48-hour period, according to sources. That decision now casts a long shadow. Was it simply an industry move? Or was Usher following a path set for him years ago? The fact that Bieber now keeps a cold distance from Usher and completely unfollowed him on social media, even turning down a Super Bowl performance together, speaks volumes. The fall of Diddy and the reckoning of an industry. Hollywood is cracking. The silence that once protected powerful men is beginning to shatter. As Diddy's legal troubles mount and former allies begin to distance themselves, the old guard is beginning to collapse. High-profile lawyers are walking away from Diddy's defense. Former protégés like Usher and Bieber are making it clear, either through silence or direct action, that they're not standing by him. Justin's refusal to stand on stage with Usher wasn't just a career choice, it was a message. For years, Diddy allegedly held power behind the scenes. But now, the weight of those years may finally be catching up to him. It's the question everyone's asking. Bieber, once the bright-eyed teenager who took the world by storm, was quickly thrust into a world of excess, pressure, and influence. He has never publicly spoken out against Diddy or Usher, but the silence may say more than words ever could. Insiders hint that his experiences might have mirrored Usher's more than the public ever knew. And as the case against Diddy intensifies, more people are calling on Bieber to tell his side of the story. This isn't just about one artist or one trial. It's about a system that has protected the powerful for too long, and the victims who are only now finding their voices. Stay tuned, because if the truth does come out, it could change Hollywood forever. Diddy's empire on the brink, allegations, abandonment, and industry reckoning. For years, whispers about Hollywood's hidden pipeline have circulated among insiders, a network that allegedly grooms young talent for the benefit of powerful industry players. Usher's alleged placement under Diddy's care as a teenager was said to be part of this disturbing system. Years later, Justin Bieber reportedly found himself caught in the same cycle. Now, with a cascade of lawsuits and explosive allegations crashing down on Diddy, the veil over these long-kept secrets appears to be lifting. One of the most damning accusations comes from individuals close to Diddy who claim that Usher once had to be hospitalized due to abuse he allegedly endured while under Diddy's watch. If true, it suggests a dark, cyclical pattern of exploitation that stretches back decades. Diddy's infamous parties, long glamorized by the media, are now being recast in a much darker light. Multiple sources allege that these were not just social events, but environments where young artists were vulnerable to manipulation. Promises of fame were allegedly dangled in front of them, only for the reality to be far more predatory. Once inside, there was no easy way out. One of the clearest signs of trouble for Diddy is the mass exodus from his legal team. In a bombshell development, top criminal defense attorney Anthony Rico, considered one of the best in the business, has officially stepped down. His reasoning? Irreconcilable differences, as noted in legal filings. But behind that sanitized phrase lies a world of speculation. What did Rico discover that made him walk away from a client of Diddy's stature? When high-powered lawyers start jumping ship just before a major trial, it often signals internal chaos or damning evidence so compelling that even seasoned legal professionals want nothing to do with it. And Rico isn't alone. Former industry allies of Diddy, many of whom once stood by his side, have gone quiet. Behind the scenes, connections are being severed. Loyalty is fading. Could they be bracing for what's coming? Because this isn't just one scandal, it's a pattern. Resurfaced videos of Diddy making questionable comments about young artists like Usher and Bieber, whispered stories of control and grooming, and an unraveling network of protectors all point towards something much bigger than anyone initially imagined. Diddy's last stand. Hollywood has always had a way of protecting its elite, sweeping allegations under the rug and casting doubt on anyone brave enough to speak out. But the digital era has made silence harder to enforce. Leaked videos, social media exposes, and a growing chorus of voices are forcing the industry to confront its shadows. Diddy may not be the first powerful figure to face this level of scrutiny, but his downfall could set a precedent. If he falls, others could go down with him. The question now isn't just whether Diddy will survive, but who else might be exposed in the process. Sean Diddy Combs, once considered untouchable in the music world, now faces what could be the most devastating reckoning of his career. With federal prosecutors reportedly building a case, top law firms distancing themselves, and insiders turning silent, the empire Diddy crafted over decades seems to be imploding. The legal system is closing in, and even his own attorneys, like Anthony Rico, are walking away. And when a lawyer says they cannot under any circumstances continue defending a client, it usually means they've seen something that crosses a line, ethically, morally, or legally. For now, Diddy is holding on, but the storm around him is growing stronger. And when it hits, it won't just shake one man's legacy. It could shatter an entire industry's carefully protected image.
Sean Diddy Combs looking to suppress evidence in his federal trial. Senior investigative correspondent Aaron Katursky is back with the story. Good morning again, Aaron.
And to you, Michael. You'll remember federal agents from Homeland Security Investigations were hardly shy when they raided Sean Combs' opulent homes in Los Angeles and Miami, guns drawn. The jailed music mogul now argues those searches and other searches of his iCloud accounts, electronic devices, and New York City hotel room following his arrest were unconstitutional. His lawyers argue evidence obtained through those searches must be suppressed. Diddy's lawyers say the government presented a grossly distorted picture of reality when applying for the search warrants, omitting certain facts and including salacious details from an unnamed producer that were never credible.
The case against Sean Diddy Combs continues to snowball, and now, some of the most powerful names in entertainment law are distancing themselves. After his top criminal defense attorney Anthony Rico abruptly resigned, the next bombshell came when the legendary law firm Grubman, Shire, Mycelius Sachs also dropped Diddy as a client. This isn't just any firm. They've represented titans like Madonna, Bruce Springsteen, and yes, even Usher. Their decision to walk away from a decades-long relationship with Diddy signals that something serious is unfolding behind the scenes. Lady Gaga's alleged ultimatum. According to reports from News Nation, Lady Gaga allegedly played a pivotal role in this fallout. Sources claim she gave the firm an ultimatum: drop Diddy or lose her as a client. Considering Gaga's immense influence and her reputation for advocacy, it's entirely plausible the firm made a strategic decision: protect their future by cutting ties with a figure whose legal troubles are growing by the day. Whether or not the ultimatum actually happened, the message is loud and clear: Diddy is no longer untouchable. Diddy's defense team argues that he's being unfairly targeted due to his race, a narrative they've been vocal about in recent weeks. But prosecutors say otherwise. Federal officials allege a years-long pattern of trafficking, coercion, and abuse that paints a far darker picture, one of manipulation, control, and systemic exploitation. At the center of the prosecution's case are the so-called freak-offs, wild, drug-fueled parties that reportedly involve coercion, deception, and even force. Prosecutors allege these weren't simply debauched gatherings, but meticulously orchestrated environments where victims were manipulated into acts they did not consent to. Worse still, they claim Diddy not only controlled the setting, but filmed and weaponized the footage to retain power over others. Diddy's legal team insists the relationships in question were between consenting adults and that the accusations have been exaggerated. However, with witnesses lining up, alleged recordings surfacing, and past associates now willing to speak out, the government's case continues to gain momentum. Will Usher be called to testify? One question looms over this case. Will Usher take the stand? As a teenager, Usher was reportedly sent to live with Diddy, an arrangement that has now come under renewed scrutiny. While Usher has never publicly accused Diddy of misconduct, he has acknowledged being exposed to inappropriate situations at a young age. With prosecutors digging deeper into Diddy's past behavior, it's possible that Usher, once considered one of Diddy's most promising protégés, could become a key witness. Whether Usher will testify remains unknown, but his close connection to Diddy and to Justin Bieber means that his voice could carry significant weight, especially if it helps shed light on a system of grooming and manipulation that may have affected not just one, but multiple generations of young artists. A crossroads for Usher and Bieber. The relationship between Usher and Diddy has long been the subject of speculation. Recently, however, Usher has been noticeably distancing himself from his former mentor. Insiders claim that he has no interest in being connected to the ongoing federal investigation. But here's the twist: if Usher is called to testify, his words could be pivotal. He may hold key information about how young artists were brought into Diddy's inner circle, what they were exposed to, and whether grooming tactics were at play. It's not just about what Usher saw. It's about whether he, too, was a victim of a system designed to exploit. Justin Bieber's silence, a statement of its own? Then there's Justin Bieber, another former protege who came into Diddy's orbit at an early age. Unlike Usher, Bieber hasn't made any public statements about the case. But in today's world, actions often speak louder than words. Recently, Bieber unfollowed Usher on social media and declined to perform with him at the Super Bowl. Two very visible moves that fans and industry insiders interpreted as deliberate distancing. Could Bieber's silence be hiding something deeper? With past struggles involving trauma and addiction, some believe Bieber may be holding back not out of loyalty, but out of fear. Fear of resurfacing painful memories or of becoming entangled in a legal battle he's not ready for. His silence leaves the door open for speculation, and for many, it speaks volumes. One of the most pressing questions is what evidence the federal government has uncovered that made Diddy's legal team abandon him. Rumors are swirling about the existence of suppressed video recordings, footage from Diddy's private parties, allegedly documenting non-consensual acts. If such evidence exists and is admissible, it could become the prosecution's most powerful weapon. There are also reports of former insiders now cooperating with the investigation. These individuals, once part of Diddy's trusted circle, may now be providing detailed, damaging testimony to federal agents. If true, it could explain why so many of Diddy's longtime allies are suddenly going silent or jumping ship. Will Hollywood protect Diddy again? Despite the severity of the allegations, some still believe Diddy might escape accountability. After all, Hollywood has a long track record of shielding its elite. Powerful men who have faced similar accusations have, in the past, managed to silence their accusers, settle out of court, or simply wait out the storm. But this time, something feels different. His legal team has crumbled, his industry ties are dissolving, and the charges aren't going away. These aren't just headlines. This is a federal criminal case backed by mounting evidence and public momentum. The usual tactics of denial and delay may not be enough. As the case heads toward trial, the implications stretch far beyond Diddy himself. If even a fraction of the allegations prove true, this could become a watershed moment for the entertainment industry. More names may surface, more survivors may come forward, and more powerful figures could face scrutiny. This isn't just Diddy's reckoning. It may be the beginning of a much larger fall from grace for an industry that has, for too long, turned a blind eye. So the question remains, will Usher Raymond testify in court? And if he does, what truths might finally come to light?